A very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News, come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Center here in Colombo. I'm Florine Rajendran. Let's now take a look at your headlines. ACMC's Amir Ali to take oaths as an MP to fill the seat left vacant by AHM Azwar. A group of Buddhist monks commenced a protest against the conducting of tuition classes on poor days and Sundays. 35 international election monitors to arrive in Sri Lanka ahead of the presidential elections. Steps taken to sell big onions at 100 rupees per kilogram via South outlets. In those stories in detail now, Minister Rishad Badiuddin, leader of the All Ceylon Mughal Congress, says that the party has accepted the National List parliamentary seat that was left vacant following the resignation of AHM Azwar. Speaking to Newsfirst, Minister Badiuddin said that the ACMC's Amir Ali will take oaths as an MP on the 12th of December. In other local news, a group of 15 Buddhist monks commenced a protest near Gargamua against the conducting of tuition classes on poor days and Sundays.
The demonstrators charged that several difficulties were experienced in Sunday school for teaching of Buddhism when there are tuition classes on poor days. The monks added that the protest will not be stopped until a solution is provided. The holding of private tuition classes has become a major threat to Sunday schools. Attendance has dropped drastically. I ask that you do not hold private tuition classes on poor days and Sundays because children should come to the temple on these days. We will continue with this fast unto death campaign until our right to propagate the Sasana is ensured.
Meanwhile, the People's Action for Free and Fair Elections, or PAFREL, says that a monitoring panel consisting of 35 international monitors will be engaged in monitoring activities at the forthcoming presidential election. PAFREL Executive Director Rohini Etiarachi said that the move was granted approval by the Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya.
For the upcoming presidential elections, we as a monitoring organization, we are bringing 35 international observers. Yesterday we had a long discussions with the Elections Commissioner. He has given his full approval to bring these 35 international observers. So they will be stay here for 2 weeks period. We are planning to bring them last week of December, and they will be stay until we complete the elections process. Even after the counting, they will leave the country. So we invite the Southeast Asia and South Asian expertise for this international monitoring team. Basically, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Philippines, Cambodia, Afghanistan, and also the Japan. Those are the countries who are coming the observers as the international observers. So we will deploy them throughout the country during the elections period.
Etiarachi also added that 20 incidents of election law violation have been recorded by PAFREL so far. Meanwhile, the Campaign for Free and Fair Elections, or CAFE, says 39 cases of election law violations have been recorded by their organization since the declaration of the forthcoming presidential polls. Executive Director of CAFE, Kirti Tenakon, elaborates.
CAFE has so far received 39 incidents of election violence and election-related law violations, and it is unique that 12 incidents out of this is related to the election violence, and 5 incidents include the using of firearms. At the very beginning of this election, during the nomination time, we have seen 5 incidents of using of firearms, and it is very important to highlight the fact that no one is arrested related to the violence taken in this election so far, and it is reported that some of these people were accused on this election violence and who have identified by the various witnesses on these in related has not taken into the custody. The law enforcement has becoming an issue in this election at the very beginning, as we got reports that some of these people who are wanted by the police is very openly doing election campaigning even yesterday and today, especially in Gampa district. We are urging the relevant authorities to focus on the fact that if the law enforcement is not taking very seriously at the very beginning of an election, this can lead to a chain reaction of election violence, which has happened so many elections in Sri Lankan history.
Meanwhile, attorney at law at the Centre for Monitoring Election Violence, Rasanga Harishchandra, says that 9 incidents of election violence had been reported so far.
9 incidents of violations have been recorded so far pertaining to the 2015 presidential elections. 4 incidents out of 9 were in relation to campaigning activities. However, the overall situation is peaceful.
A ceremony to present appointment letters for casual employees of the Housing Development Authority was held under the auspices of Minister of Construction, Engineering Services, Housing and Common Amenities, Vimal Veeramansa.
It has been 5 years since we started progressing. Many forces are attempting to stop this. They are concocting stories in the name of democracy. They created an issue saying that there is a lack of democracy. They are creating problems and we will provide them with a remedy. After taking medicine for a sickness that did not even exist, they call themselves good doctors. We can see how good they are as doctors looking at the people they are surrounded by. They say that they will only take responsibility for just 100 days. Within these 100 days, they say that constitutions will be enacted, some will be abolished, etc. 100 days meaning 3 months and a few more days.
Appointment letters were presented to 468 casual employees. The Government Medical Officers Association convened a media briefing today.
It was a Sri
Lankan doctor, Dr. Senaka Bibile, who first introduced the basic concept of the drug policy to the world. Every year, Senaka Bibile is garlanded and even a speech is made based on a person who was instrumental in this process. This is not what should happen. I cannot see a leader who can initiate the drug policy, the officials who speak of it. This is what I have to say, and it is disappointing. But if someone has the honest motive of doing this, then he should be ready to face any challenge. We told this before, and there is no use of scolding the politicians who were previously in power. Someone should take the responsibility and implement this.
The annual seasonal pilgrimage to Sri Pada or Adams Peak commences tomorrow. Nuwara District Secretary D.P.G. Kumarasiri said arrangements have been made to accommodate the pilgrims. Religious observances ahead of the annual seasonal pilgrimage were completed this morning. Religious observances were conducted at the Sri Pada Rajamahavihara in Palmadulla. The annual seasonal pilgrimage will commence on the Unduvap full moon Poya day. Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade says that steps have been taken to sell a kilogram of big onions at 100 rupees via Sathosa outlets. The ministry added that so far over 1 million kilograms of big onions have been purchased from farmers thus far. Meanwhile, purchasing of big onions is currently underway in 6 centres. Modified Sri Lanka Planetarium with the facility of digital technology for full dome shows will be reopened today.
Natural occurrences and events that take place in the universe will be projected on a wide screen through a cosmic projector. Several other projectors will also be installed for several other presentations. The refurbished planetarium will consist of 570 seats. Accordingly, public shows will commence on the 9th of December and shows will go on at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. School shows will be available from Tuesday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The planetarium will be closed on Sunday, Monday and on public holidays.
The third term of the school's academic year concludes today. The Ministry of Education states that the first term of the 2015 school year will commence on the 5th of January.
The ministry added that schools will close again on the 7th, 8th and the 9th of January due to the presidential elections. 43 schools situated in Colombo and Negombo will close again on the 12th, 13th and 14th of January for the Pope's visit. The Ministry of Education noted that these schools will be occupied by the police and the armed forces who will be deployed to provide security for the Pope's visit.
Meanwhile, the mayor of Kaduvela, G.H. Buddhadasa, expressed his views yesterday after the 2015 budget of the Kaduvela Municipal Council was passed with a majority of 14 votes.
We were hoping for an income of 9,335 lakhs in the year 2015, a 7% increase compared to 2014. We allocated 3,055 lakhs for road development and also 700 lakhs for waste management. When looking at the development of roads, the construction of a reservicing manufacturing yard is an important juncture. We have allocated 30 lakhs for each Gram Seva Niladhari division. We will build 10 houses for low-income earning families in each Grama Niladhari division.
ග්‍රාම සේවා වසමක අඩු ආදායම් සඳහා නිවාස 10 බැගින් ඉදු කරනවා. කොළඹ දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ පළවෙනි වරට ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ කටවුට් ලක්ෂ 15ක් වේලම් කරලා ගැහුවේ බුද්ධදාස. මේ කඩුවල
Buddhadasa spent 1.5 million to erect cutout of the president in the Colombo district for the first time. I decorated the Kaduvela electorate in blue. I started my political career with the SLFP and I will end my life with the SLFP. I'm not a man who wails. I'm a person who will face problems fearlessly and an SLFP party member who would work in spite of the hardships. I'm not hoping to leave and I do not have the need for it either. I'm 78 years old and the only place I have to go is a cemetery.
අවශ්‍යතාවයකුත් නැහැ. මට යන්න තියෙන්නේ මම දැන් අවුරුදු 78ක වයසක නාකේ මිනිස්සෙක් මට යන්න තියෙන්නේ කනත්තට විතරයි.
The Sri Lanka Public Health Inspectors Association states that the threat of the spread of dengue is developing due to the prevailing rainy weather conditions. The General Secretary of the association, Senarat Bandara, stated that due to the rise in the threat of the spread of the disease, the environment should be kept clean. Meanwhile, legal action has been instituted against approximately 12,000 individuals, further to inspections that were carried out in the past 11 months.
0114-896-896 www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.